Today we're talking impact windows, family business, and how to protect your home without getting pressured into the wrong deal. If you've been thinking about windows or doors in South Florida, this episode could save you money, stress, and a big mistake.
Hey now, welcome to another episode of the Digital Mayors Podcast. I'm Dan Nathanson.
And I'm Michael Nathanson.
And you can find everything we're building, our episodes and local connections at lovewhereyouLiveFL.com.
For sure. And our podcast aims to highlight the stories, people, businesses, organizations, and places that make South Florida a great place to live, work, play, learn, give, and thrive.
Love that. I love that.
Today, we're talking with Matt and Jody Hillstrom, the owners of Boca Impact Window and Door, about what homeowners should really be looking for when they're getting quotes, why not all high-end products are actually high-end, and how a family-run company has built trust in a space where a lot of people feel overwhelmed.
Yes, for sure. And we're also getting into the family side of the business, what customer service actually looks like when you mean it, and why right now might matter if someone's been thinking about getting impact windows or doors. And make sure to listen to the end for a terrific offer from these guys.
Oh, I like terrific offers. Yeah. By the end, you'll know what questions to ask before signing anything, plus how Matt and Jody think about business, family, and showing up for people the right way.
So, Matt, Jody, which one's which? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Digital Mayors Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're excited.
Thank you.
We're definitely excited to have you here. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's get right in. So tell us, for someone meeting you for the first time, all right, how do you each explain what your company does and why it matters here in South Florida?
Well, we're a little bit different than some of the other companies out there. I have another business partner that's he's out in the field, so he takes care of the actual construction aspects of it, and I take care of more of the office aspects. So I'm more of the one that I would be meeting with the customer first through one of our salespeople. Mm-hmm. But that being said, we have a group of anywhere between 8 and 10 installers on each job. So that's a lot of people for some people.
Yeah.
To have in their homes.
Yes.
But it works really well for us. My business partner is always on site with them, so he makes sure everything's done properly. And if there's a problem, the customer's going right to an owner. So that really helps them, instill a little bit of trust in us. But it helps us do the job a little bit easier too.
I love that.
Awesome.
And Jody, how do you say it? How would you say, what do you guys do?
Well, we first of all have an amazing office staff, as well as our installation crew.
Oh, heck yeah.
We're very customer service oriented. We're very proud to maintain a 5-star rating.
Love that.
Nice.
We want somebody to be completely happy with their job from start to finish.
Mm-hmm. Listen, as a customer, as a client of yours, I was happy. I loved everything. Your whole team was great, except for that one guy. What was the guy sitting next to you? What's his name? That Matt guy.
Little attitude.
Everybody's awesome.
But we always say too, we're if you wouldn't give us a 5-star review, then we're not complete. We're not finished yet.
Right.
So maybe there's something else that we still need to do that, maybe we overlooked, or maybe they expected something else that we can still do.
Yeah.
So, we do ask everybody for a review, but, most people don't like to give reviews.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it when they do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course. So we're here in South Florida, but where did you guys grow up and what brought you to South Florida?
Well, we both grew up in the same area.
Really?
3 miles apart from each other.
That's cool.
In a tiny little town in Illinois.
Nice.
Matt actually went to school with one of my older sisters since preschool.
Oh, wow.
But we didn't really meet each other until I was later out of high school.
Really? So you're trolling the high school? Is that
No,
you're out of school and you're...
no. We didn't start dating until that sounded horrible.
Good thing about high school girls, the
Right?
older I get,
She was
they stay the same age.
Of course. See.
He's not that much older than me, geez.
4 years though is enough,
Right?
No, we didn't start dating at all till she was 21.
Yeah.
So I think it was 21, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Right?
No.
Ish, 21-ish.
That's awesome. So, right, so like outside of Chicago, little town, and
Very rural.
yeah.
Yes.
And what brought you to sunny South Florida? How'd you guys end up here?
The weather.
The weather.
I heard it's nice here, yeah.
Yes.
It is.
I've read about it.
I love it.
I had a sister that was living on the west coast of Florida
Okay.
before we decided to move down here, and we would fly down and visit her, and we decided that we just loved it here, and we were in our early 20s. We We just
Screw it, we're coming.
we figured that was like our best time in our life to just pick up and
I had a job
something new.
I had a job opportunity before we left, and it was with Deerfield Builder Supply.
Oh, okay.
So it's it was nice. I got to meet up with Ed Dietrich to start, who's
Okay.
been a very big influence
Yeah.
on me. And throughout that, we've some of his children, Gretchen,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Jessica, his son-in-laws, Heath. These guys all work with us.
Right.
So it makes it nice. We all worked at Deerfield Builders Supply together. They sadly had to close like around 2012, but I was able to have them come and work with us as well, and so we've always continued a really good relationships.
Awesome.
Love that.
So that makes it nice, since we're family and we're
Right.
family oriented, to have their family
Yeah.
that accepted me in
Right.
2001.
Right.
It's nice to have them,
Yeah, as part of the
working
family.
with us as well. Yeah.
I love that.
So speaking of the business, how did Boca Impact Window and Door start, and when did you realize that Impact Windows and Doors could not become just a business, but your business?
Well, I always wanted to do my own thing at some point in time. I've worked for a few different companies, always in construction. I got my degree in construction management from Illinois State University.
Oh, cool.
Way back in 1996. And I always wanted to do my own thing. I was always doing windows and doors, but I figured that was what I best knew. I had already built a few houses for guys as a project managers.
Yeah.
For a project manager, but I felt like this was my calling.
Right.
Being a builder takes a long time to get paid, and be a long process. Being a window guy, we're able to get in and get out and get paid and finish up and have a good relationship.
Yeah,
with
and it's
people
just that
quickly.
feeling of accomplishment too, right? Because you see the difference.
Yeah,
it's either new
absolutely.
construction where there's just a hole in the wall and you're taking care of it, or like at my house with my front door, right? My front door was just an old, not great front door, and then the next day I have a stunning, gorgeous front door, right? Like you have that sense of accomplishment, right? That feels good, I'm sure.
It does. It's kind of like people walk in your house. The kitchen is the first thing they look at.
Yeah.
Well, when they pull up to the house, the first thing they look at
Yeah.
is the front door.
Yeah.
And you can tell when someone has new windows and doors.
Always.
You can tell versus the people that don't.
Mm-hmm.
And the protection is nice, and the security is
Oh, heck yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, listen, the weather stuff too, right? The fact that it keeps it warmer when it's cold out and cooler when it's warm out, like all of it, the sound, the impact, everything about it. And it looks great.
It's a really neat product. It
Yeah.
really is. The glass is amazing. It's very, very secure.
Mm-hmm. I love that stuff. All right, so to get into your family a little bit, right? You guys have a couple of kiddos,
we do.
Macy and Tegan, and the family dynamic is a real part of who you guys are, right? You like your daughters a little bit, right? I think.
Still,
They're pretty amazing.
So if you're open to it, how has running a business together shaped life at home? And how has life at home shaped the business?
Well, I mean, a lot of people.
you see that look?
You
by
saw
the
that
way?
look, but
She just looked.
I don't know if you caught that,
No,
Eric,
no, yeah.
but Jody just went.
I was deferring.
So
Uh-huh.
a lot of people we talk to, customers as well, are like, "Oh my God, you work with your wife? How is that even possible?"
Right.
I'm like, "We get to have lunch together
Right.
like 3 days a week too. We do. We get along really well.
You guys like each other.
At least I think
We
so.
do.
Yeah,
no.
you do.
We get along really well, and we work hard at it too. I mean, it just
Yeah.
doesn't come easy.
No.
And to have the business, we take a lot of walks together, and that kind of gets us to talk about our children. We do talk about the business a lot throughout that, but it helps us, And I mean, so she knows when I'm having a bad day. I know when she's having a bad day, but in the end, we go to sleep.
And you're in it together.
Yeah, we're in it together, and yes, of course, So it definitely works out, and hey, you marry the person for a reason, right? You want to be with them, so
Yeah.
I get to be with her a lot.
That's pretty cool.
So
That's cool.
It
I,
works.
I do love that, right? Because I think we've talked about before, right? Lots of people who are couples, and not just us, not just me and my brother, but not everybody kind of has it, right? Lots of people like that.
Yeah.
Like you guys have it. I really genuinely think that you like each other, you love each other, you trust each other, you have each other's back. You know, that's very clear in having known you guys for a long time. And that's cool to be able to work and have that support on a bad day. And when you're having a bad day, she can tell you, hey, listen, dummy, snap out of it because it's not that big. You know, whatever it is that you can support each other like that, right? And same
Yeah.
to you,
And then
right?
sometimes we can see things from a different angle too,
Yeah.
where maybe he thinks something is a bigger deal than it is. And I can kind of talk him down from the ledge and
Right.
Yeah.
say, okay, maybe if we look at it from this point of view.
Right.
She
can
did
approach it
say
differently.
though 15 years ago when I told her I was going to start this business that I just quit my job and she was just having our second baby and she didn't have a job at the time.
Right.
That she said, whatever you do, I'm not going to be involved in this business, right? And I said, no.
So you're a liar.
Nope.
No, that's
Liar.
Yeah.
That was my only lie I've ever told to her. Yes.
How'd that work out, Jody? Yeah.
So I started out working, maybe 5 hours a week
Yeah.
at the beginning, doing some invoicing. Then it gradually just increased more and more and more. And now I'm basically there full time.
Right.
By the way, there's nobody better to do invoicing than a wife. You're like,
right, yeah.
you didn't pay. Don't make me go. I will kill you. You pay now. Yeah, very personal. I like it.
Pay that bill.
She's a great accountant
Yes.
anymore, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a segment we like called First Job, Best Lesson. So, Jody, what was your first job?
I worked in a hospital in the local town that we were from in Illinois in the cafeteria. So I got
You're a
all
lunch
the-
lady?
No, I got the trays of food ready for all of the patients.
Oh,
That's cool.
So we had an assembly line and we'd place all the food on the trays and then it would get sent upstairs for the patients to eat. We'd hang around. It was all high school kids, so we had a blast. And the trays would get sent back and we'd clean them and put them away for the night. So I only worked a couple hours a day.
Right.
Okay.
And you ate the food, obviously, off the trays.
No, not off the trays. From
Liar.
the cafeteria. They had very good chicken patties.
Oh, there you go. That
Matt, what was yours? What was your first job?
I worked at a place called the Ripe Tomato. I got paid $2.25 an hour. It was my best buddy's dad's business, and they basically supplied all the restaurants with the fruits and vegetables.
Oh, cool.
And they also had a store, and they sold Christmas trees and stuff like that during the seasons and pumpkins and whatnot. But I'd worked there, and like a 50-pound bag of potatoes,
Right.
25-pound bags of potatoes, and that. For me, I was only like
Yeah, you're a
12 or
kid.
13 years old. It was really
are heavy.
difficult to slug these things around.
kidding.
But I looked at his dad and I said, man, someday I want to own my own company,
Right.
because he wasn't
Right. He
carrying
wasn't-
any of those things,
No.
But
Yeah.
but he was an influence
Yeah.
as well, back when I was a child.
I love that. And so, from those first jobs, what would you say is the best lesson that you still carry with you today? Like, is there something from the hospital trays and from the potatoes that?
I mean, I guess with me, because you worked as a team, so if you didn't show up at work, then you were affecting the entire team, and everyone else would have to pick up your portion of the job. So it's important when you're scheduled for a job
Show up.
that you need to show up.
I love that. And Matt, how about you?
Mine was to stay in school and get smarter.
Yes.
So
Say, own a business so you don't have to carry
I
it.
could own a business potentially, and I didn't have to use my body so much. Even though I still do carry some windows. 'cause
Right.
I actually moved some windows today.
Nice.
So I helped out today.
Yeah.
But it, hey, that keeps me young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it did help me realize that, hey, you know what? I do want to become more educated, and hopefully.
Right.
Someday open my own business.
Love
Correct.
that.
And here we are.
Yeah, here
Love
we are.
that.
So when you think about customer service, communication, and doing what you say you're going to do any of those early lessons still help drive the bus?
Yeah, I mean, especially with my dad and that, he was a big guy of saying, hey, you got to be on time, you know, that's a big quality,
Yeah.
and for customer service, people want you to be, you have to be on time. You have to do what you're saying that you are going to do. I mean, it is construction. Things do go wrong, sometimes, but it's how you are reactive at that point in time and making them work, and that as a youngster, it made me, I always, we get on our daughters for getting tardies once in a while, and they think I'm just the worst thing in
Right.
the world. And I'm saying, that is one of the best lessons to learn.
Yeah.
For years, I used to tell people that I would be there at 9 o'clock for their measure or for their contract signing. And I would worry because you know how South Florida traffic is. It's crazy. And then one day Jody said, "You're the only one that says you're going to be there at 9 o'clock. But everybody else tells us when they come to our house, they'll be there between 9 and 12.
Right.
Say
You know?
between 9 and Tuesday.
Yeah, 9 and
Exactly.
Tuesday. So so I started saying I'd be there between 9 and 10, but expect me there at 9.
Yes.
You know?
I'll be
And
there at
I
8:45 though.
yeah, well,
Right.
of course.
Right.
You know,
I'll be out in the car working
you
until
know, so that that as a kid that has been instilled to me, and I'm trying to put it in my girls' heads that at least to say, hey, don't be the last one here.
Yeah.
Get here.
Thank
Get
you
here
for doing
first. Be there. You know,
Love that.
it means a lot.
And Jody, how about you? Any of those old lessons you think that really just help you guys, drive the business?
Yeah. Well, Matt and I were raised very similarly. We have those Midwest values where it's all about, like he said, being punctual, being on time. If you say you're going to be there, you're there. We get so many calls from customers that are shocked sometimes that we answered the phone or that we showed up for their measure.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah. Sadly, it's kind of easy to stand out.
I've gotten yelled at before for being early.
Yes.
So,
Right.
which I can understand. They
Right.
weren't ready, you know. And
Right.
I'm like, no, I just wanted to say I'm out in the car.
I'm outside, right?
You know,
I'll come knock on the door at 9.
What I usually do is I'll shoot a text, be like, "Hey, I'm 15 minutes early. I'm more than happy to wait."
Right.
And then just see what they say.
Yes,
That's what I do. Just so you.
exactly.
There you go.
Thank you.
You could
See,
steal that,
I'm
right?
learning,
Right? Every day.
I
right?
got you, bro.
Every day.
of course.
So only if you guys are comfortable sharing, and listen, you already mentioned your dad, who we know has been a big influence on you in your life, right? For you guys, who's been in your corner as you've built the business, raised the girls, and just kind of handled real life along the way?
Well, we've been fortunate enough to have a village of friends that have helped us along the way, especially with our kids. We have no family here, so
We're your family, Jody.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Thank
do
you.
consider you part
Yeah,
of our
anytime.
family.
Absolutely.
So we've relied a lot on our good friends
Yeah.
to help with the kids. As far as the business goes, we have several employees that have been with us since the very beginning.
Right.
That's awesome. Says a lot
Gretchen-
about you.
Gretchen being one of our
Right.
Main-
Gretchen's awesome.
Gretchen,
employees in the office.
Gretchen Dietrich, which
Yeah,
you know,
right.
which her father was an inspiration to
Right.
me. You know, it's always that. Still, I have his ear if I need it.
Right.
You know, so that's a really nice
Yeah.
thing. You know, so that really works out well for us.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love
you
that.
know?
Yeah, and we're all just kind of a family in the office. We help each other out as much as we can. Everyone has kids, everyone has their own schedule. We try to be understanding of that people need to get their kids off to school, pick them up, bring them to appointments.
I think that makes sense. And so let me ask you this. What do you hope your girls remember about how you built the business and how you've treated people?
Well, I hope they realize that it's not easy just to make money, you know, which they can spend it really easily right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're real good at that, right?
But you know, they're one's going to be 14 here in the next month, and the other one's 16. Both girls.
sorry.
That's tough.
Right.
They're cuties. though.
But
Yeah.
they're absolutely beautiful. But I think they're starting to see what we do and how we do things.
Yeah.
And why we do things, and that with our friendships with our friends as well, because we have a good group of friends,
Yeah.
you know. So hopefully they'll, you know, my dad always wanted to open up a business and talked about different ideas. So I heard that and I listened. I always listened, and he never did.
Yeah.
I did though.
Yeah.
And hopefully my girls will take that and they will want to do their own thing, and it'll push them a little above what I've already done or what we've done as a family. So I'm excited to see. What
Listen,
they
I don't know if you guys know it, but your girls are proud. Like, I've actually heard them talk about you guys and your business.
Oh, really?
Like, I've heard them say good things about, mom and dad, they help people and with their house. Like, they're proud of you.
That's great. They're very proud to wear their Boca Impact sweatshirt
Yes.
Yeah?
that we've had made.
Yes.
represent.
Yes. Love that. And listen, and having talked, like, your dad was proud.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
oh, so proud.
right?
My biggest fan.
Your biggest fan, without question.
Yeah.
Without question. All right, so look, let's take a quick break. So if you're watching or listening and thinking about buying, selling, or just trying to make a smart home decision in South Florida, our hub is lovewhereyouLiveFL.com. We are the Nathanson Brothers real estate and mortgage team, and we help neighbors make good moves with less stress and more clarity. If you want trusted guidance, local connections, and a team that really cares, start there. LoveWhereYouLiveFL.com. Thank you.
Yes. So let's help the neighbors.
Okay.
All right. What are the biggest mistakes homeowners make when they're shopping for impact windows and doors? Other than not calling you.
Well,
That's the first mistake.
Yeah, there's a lot of products out there. So some of the biggest things that we see is a lot of times we'll go to a house and we try to match them with the products that our professional mind says, hey, this is what's best for the house. That doesn't mean it's best for them, but we try to give them that. Different manufacturers, the PGT, ES windows and doors, we sell both of those product lines, but they have a high level and a lower level, whatever you want to call it, a builder's grade and a high end level. Well, a lot of times the customer, I mean, we all would love the high end level.
Right.
They want that, and that's what we quote them. And then other companies come in and they quote them a lower line. That's what we're seeing.
Right.
So we can quote the lower line as well, but sometimes we feel that we've lost some jobs that way just because we didn't quote the less expensive product. And what it comes down to is a lot of people can do the work. They can buy the windows from just about anybody. There's a lot of different guys out there, companies out there. But the biggest thing is you got to make sure it gets installed. You got to make sure they actually do the job and finish it.
Yep.
Again, I'm saying it is construction. There are things that go wrong. We've never walked away from a job in 15 years, even 25 since I worked for Deerfield Builder Supply. We never walked away from a job, so we're going to finish it no matter what. I mean, it could be some headaches. It could be longer than the normal, 8-week lead time. There are things that happen, but you know what? You got to make sure you in business, everybody says apples to apples, oranges to oranges type thing. You want to make sure when you're getting quotes, you are apples for apples. I mean, someone could be quoting something that's completely less money, but the other companies,
beer budget, champagne taste, that kind of thing, right? And it's almost like you're reading our notes beforehand, right? About like getting a quote and actually understanding what you're being quoted, right? Like that, if you're being quoted for the beer budget, but think you're getting the champagne,
correct?
That could be an issue, right?
I mean, we also there are also a lot of companies, especially ones that are on TV. They're hard sell companies, so they're coming to sell you then and there. So they want to sell you, and they're not taking no for an answer.
Yeah.
Well,
we have a friend, I'm not going to mention names or companies, who used to work for a company similar to that, and he kind of told us about how the quotes went. He would go on a quote. He'd walk around. He'd sit down and be like, all right, it's $70,000. And they'd be like, oh, my God, that's crazy. He's like, okay, well, if you do it today, it's $9,000 and we'll give you a cruise, but you have to sign right now. Here, sign it right now. You ready to sign it? Sign it right now. And I'm like, that is so scum. I'm like, you're never going to get a referral. I love you.
It's
but
horrible.
we can't send you a referral. Thankfully, he left that company after a short period of time, but I'm like, so
how could you?
Gross.
We want to educate our customers as much as we can, because the more educated they are, the easier the job.
Correct.
Will go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Yeah,
how
they
it
just
is.
throw out the $70,000 quote because maybe someone will say yes. They don't know any better.
If anybody
They
says,
do? Cool.
If anybody says buy one get one, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not how it is.
Yeah, of course not.
If there, anything, most of these things, they say you don't have buy one get one free, and you're $5,000 less than they were.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, well, right, because we're just being honest. I'm
Correct.
sorry. I mean,
Correct.
we set margins for where we need to make money.
Yes.
But it's fair.
Yeah. Right. You're a for-profit business. You're not subsidized labor, right? You're doing the right thing, and you're being fair to the customers, right? That's just what it's about.
Absolutely.
Transparency.
Transparency is
Right.
my favorite word. I use it all the time, and I tell our customers that too.
Yeah.
As we go through contracts, and most people don't like reading contracts. Well, we're going to
I
go through
certainly
it,
do not.
No, of course, So we want to go through it. We want them to make sure they know exactly what we're doing and exactly what they're going to get.
Yeah. Awesome.
And when they're looking at other quotes, make sure you're looking at the product that was quoted to you is the product
That shows up on the quote.
you're getting.
Yeah, we've had that too. We've had people come and, can you look at this? It doesn't seem like this is the right thing, you know. And we've saw that too, So they kind of bait and switched them a little bit,
For sure. Listen, when I bought my house, I closed on my house in 2019, and I needed a roof. I knew I needed a roof, and a local roofer that my brother and I know, I invited him to come out to my house. He put together a quote, and I'm a good shopper, so I called two of the big names that everybody knows around town and both of those quotes came in significantly lower, like $10,000 lower. And I'm like, I know this guy. I'm like, this is rough. But then I sat and I put all 3 quotes on my dining room table and looked at them, and I went, oh, these are not the same quotes.
They're not,
Like the 2 quotes that were $10,000 less didn't include like the plywood if I needed plywood. They didn't include replacing the fascia. Neither of the quotes included the skylight in my kitchen. I'm like, they didn't even mention it. And then once I looked through in detail and read all the notes and, you know, kind of calculated, they were the same. Like they all came pretty much exactly the same price. I'm like, oh, I'm going with the guy who I know and trust, who was honest from the start.
Right.
Right. That's just, it's just smart to just be honest up front.
Well, at least your skylight wasn't on yours. I paid for a skylight and they didn't do it. I found out years later. I had no idea. I had the same roofer guy we know. Like we met him like a month after I did my roof.
Yeah.
Right.
And I used one of the big companies in town who I would never refer to again based on how they handled everything. And that was before I even knew about the skylight. And then he's like, why did you put a new roof without a new skylight? I'm like, no, we did. I paid for it. He's like,
Oh, wow.
that is not a new skylight. Oh,
Yeah. Right.
awesome.
Crazy, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Thanks. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's why we love referrals.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, I mean, and that's what we work for too. You know, I mean, hey, if you're not going to leave us a review because it's a pain, you know what? Then at least you're going to refer us. You
Yeah.
know? And that's, I mean, majority of our work is referral based, so that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
You know, and we
Right. Referrals are the lifeblood of a business, right? Referrals make things
For sure.
a lot easier
Yeah.
because
It's warm,
Yeah.
friendly.
right,
Yep.
some of the guard is already down, and listen, like when I refer Boca Impact Window and Door, and you know, I say, listen, I know Jody, I know Matt, they're good people. They did the windows on my house, they did the doors on my house. Was it 100% smooth? I'm not even going to go, right? Not everything was 100% smooth, but you know what? Just like we talk about with our businesses, we do things the right way, and when things go wrong, we do the right thing, right? Like, yeah, sometimes there's hiccups in life. Shit happens.
Yeah.
It's how do you handle it? And you guys handle it perfectly. Like, so I tell people, like, they're awesome. Go with them. Like, that's it.
Yes.
It's you're conveying the trust,
yeah. And
helping that work.
a lot of our customers too, we try our best to even have them come to our showroom, and it's not a huge showroom by any means,
Right.
but it has pretty much everything we sell. It's all in salesman samples,
Yeah.
so smaller samples, but that gives people at least the trust to say, oh, the guy's not going to take my money and run off.
Correct.
You know, I mean, obviously he's got a decent sized business here and
Right.
that, but when they can see it and they can touch it, it is a lot better, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, we always want people to come to our office, and then they get to meet Jody,
Right. They
and
get to meet Jody and Gretchen and the team.
and Ruby,
Yes.
and you know, they're you know,
You get to see the humans behind this.
They get to meet Otis.
Our shop
sometimes,
dog
you
comes
know.
in
He's the
sometimes.
shop dog, yeah.
Sweet
Right.
Otis.
right.
Yes.
I love that.
Cool. What are questions every homeowner should ask before signing anything?
That's a good one.
Well, they should ask, you know, basically what is included, obviously, you know. I mean, that's how we try to take out the guesswork on that, what questions they should ask.
Yeah.
We have everything in our contract, and it's nothing's hidden in there, you know. So, but I mean, they should know that, hey, you know, what are you going to do to my house? What is going to happen here? You know, what are we looking at here? A lot of people ask us, they say, you're only going to be on the outside of the house, correct? And it's like, no. This is major construction. We're taking out old windows. The windows have wood bucking around them. Most of our houses are, you know, concrete block. So they need to know that it's going to be dusty. It is going to be messy. We show them, we tell them how we plastic everything, how we put walkways in, how we put, you know, thicker ram board or it's a cardboard paper. You
Right, to
probably know
protect
it.
the floors. Yeah, listen, you
protecting
guys
the
were I
floors.
was so impressed when you guys did my house. I'm like, holy shit, like they care.
We walk away, you know, we've been told by many that we are very clean for a very dirty job,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, they should ask, you know, hey, what am I supposed to do with my AC? Am I supposed to keep the AC on? Some people do, some people don't. If you keep the AC on, it's just going to run.
Right.
The filters should be changed right after we're done. You know, they should be changed probably 3 days after that, even. You know, because there is
Right,
going
just
to be
picks up
some
the dust in the air.
Dust in the air. You know, we give everybody the warranties. We give them, you know, we give them all the proper maintenance and care instructions, and they have our office number. They can call us any point in time just for any other questions or help.
And it's great that you guys are local and real and you're family in the community, right? like you can't hide. We say that about us too.
Yeah.
Like we can't hide.
No.
If we mess up, we're taking care of it. Like we're not taking your stuff and going because we're around.
Right.
We're going to see you at Publix or the Chamber of
Yeah,
Commerce.
we run
or-
into customers all the time.
we even have, we have relationships with other window people as
Right.
well. So we,
Right.
we even know who we believe are, pretty good guys,
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
and
Who's
some
not.
that, well, some maybe not so. I mean, we don't talk bad about
No.
people. We don't talk bad about windows.
No.
For different suppliers, we just may say, hey, we choose not to sell that product for our own.
Yeah.
That's my
Right,
own
just
choice.
not something we're
you know?
comfortable, selling.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I know Dan touched on this for his roof, like when you put out 3 quotes to see kind of apples to apples, right? So if someone gets more than one quote and one is a lot lower, what might actually be happening behind the scenes there?
Well, it could be definitely a lower end product line. You definitely have to, at least HOAs that everybody hates. They do help people on knowing that, hey, you have to hire a licensed and insured contractor. So they have to make sure you have the proper license and insurance, and HOAs make you do that.
Yeah.
But they also got to know that, hey, if someone's bringing 10 guys, do they really have workers' comp for all 10 guys?
Right.
That's a big deal, Well, I pay for it. Well, if someone doesn't, they can go lower on their price,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do they have vehicle insurance, commercial, there's a lot of things. Most of the HOAs anymore we work in, they ask for all that. So that is nice, but there's a lot of places in Boca that don't have an HOA. So then the people have to do that themselves. They should ask for, copies of certificates of insurance from whoever, whatever
Yes.
builder, whatever they're
Yeah.
doing, just to protect
Yeah.
themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Make sure that if something happens to them, to somebody, to your home, like what happens, right? That you're covered and protected.
And another red flag we see sometimes is contractors not wanting to pull permits.
Oh, yeah.
It's very important that a permit is pulled so you can
there's a
be
reason.
assured that your product was installed properly.
Yeah. Right. And it meets the codes. It's installed the right way.
Windows and doors always need a permit.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
need a permit. So we have to pull permits on basically every job we do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes if it was a repair work, we don't have to do a permit. But when you're replacing windows and
Oh, yeah.
doors, it's a permit.
Yeah. It has to be, right?
And that's
the code.
another way
Correct.
to be assured that they're properly licensed and insured because you have to be up to date with all the
Right.
building departments.
Yeah.
Right.
To be able to pull the permits. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And
I love that.
and it's good to have inspectors come out. As much as people may say good things about inspectors, probably more say not so good. We have relationships with the inspectors, because we have an inspection. We have at least one inspection every day.
Right.
Be it in Palm Beach County, Broward County,
Yeah.
Boca, different municipalities. But of course, we end up knowing these guys.
Yeah. Because you see them
But they come in and they a lot of times say, hey, you're not going to have a problem with these guys, but they still walk around and they check every opening, check for all the screws, and make sure we have all of our pictures that we're supposed to have for anything that's been concealed.
Yeah.
So we have to take pride in what we do, and it's
But again,
a lot of work.
that's
but
to
it
protect
works.
the consumer, right? That's to protect the
is.
homeowners.
Yes.
And as much of a pain in the neck as it is, it's vital, right? Because listen, if somebody's missing screws, if somebody's not doing stuff right, and then there's an impact, there's an issue.
Right.
Right? You want the protection of
sure.
what you're paying for. I love that. And so you guys, you talk a lot about customer happiness and the end of the job. So what does that look like for you beyond just saying, we care? Like how do you to get that customer happiness? Like what does that mean for you, do for you? How does that look,
I would say
when your
it's-
customers are happy?
Education for sure, just letting them know every step of the process.
Yeah.
We're constantly working on checklists and paperwork that we're giving to our customers, starting from when they sign a contract until we're getting ready to do their final inspection.
Awesome.
Customer happiness is generally when they refer you to someone else.
Right.
Right.
And that's when you get the ultimate. And there's been times where I'm like, I don't know if we could ever get this person happy.
Right.
And then to come find out, they've referred us to 5 different
Right.
people,
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
So they were probably happier than anyone,
Right.
So, but, we always ask if, hey, is there something else you expected? Everybody's learning in business as well.
Always.
So, and everybody can Google things and think they know everything because of what AI says
Yep.
or whatnot, So if we can do something better, we're going to work at that,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So, but I mean, for the most part, windows and doors, I think we got it pretty well down,
Yeah.
but every house is different.
Oh, heck yeah.
So it's different situations, different flooring, different everything, you know. So it does make it difficult, but
Yes.
you know, we have some really good apps that we use that help us. We take pictures inside and out of the house. So when my partner does get to the job, he's not asking, "Hey, what are we doing here?" You know?
Right.
No, he already knows. He's got a plan. He sees that you got a beautiful tub in front of some glass block. You know, he knows how to cover things. He knows how to protect things. So
Love that.
it really works out well for us. Yeah.
Awesome. I know you've talked about things that you do, like, you know, explaining the process, being transparent and stuff like that. And you've built a strong reputation around service and reviews. What do you think people consistently respond to most?
As far as what they're seeing in reviews.
No, as far as your service and everything like that. What like to get you the reviews?
Yeah.
and the
What do you
referrals?
think people like most about you guys in Boca Impact Window and Door?
A lot of people make comments. They love our installation crew.
Yeah.
A lot of our guys have been with us for over 10 years.
that's
They're a really fun group of guys.
Yeah. Who
They're-
do a great job.
Yes, they're happy. They like to joke around with each other.
Awesome.
They're comfortable talking to the customers.
I think they like to, all the way from our salespeople to our office. Everybody, we're all, you know, laid back. I'm not pressuring anybody to buy windows. You know what? There's probably someone else that needs them. If you don't need them,
Correct.
I'm gonna move on. You know, it's not a big deal. But we're you know, I mean, you guys know us from just hanging out with us. I mean, we're pretty laid back, relaxed people. You know, we work hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, hey, you know, we want to be honest, and I think they feel that right away. And it starts a lot with our sales team.
Yeah.
You know, they're the same as me.
Yeah.
They're not pressure sales guys. They're just they're relaxed. They want to give out as much information as they can give you. You know, they're available for calls.
Yeah.
You know, at any time. So that means a lot. You know, just to build that trust.
Yeah. I would say, right, I think it really comes down to the people. Yeah. Right. It's you guys in the front office, right? Your team, it's the shop dog, it's everything, and the crew. Like, having met the front office and having been a client, you know, a customer, I've met a bunch of these people, and it's just a good group of people. And you're like, oh, I'm comfortable. These are nice human beings. They seem to be doing the right thing, you know, because you just have to have faith, right? Like you have to make sure, you know, people are doing the right thing. But I trust that you're going to do the right job.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror stories out there because there's a lot of window companies out there. I mean, when we were kids, maybe the only thing that people used to say, "Oh, you got to watch out for the used car dealerships."
Right.
You know, remember that? Everybody's like, "Oh my God, they're gonna rip you off," you know. And that's come about with windows. Almost
heck yeah.
feel like it, and people are so to get that trust is
That's a big deal.
Is a real big deal.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's tough to build with customers, but I think we do a heck of a job.
I think so.
You know,
I think you guys are awesome.
good just to build that relationship. And you usually buy windows like one time in your life. That's what I always thought. But we had so many customers that bought windows from us 2 and 3 and 4 times because, you know, people buy, they grow to a bigger house or they go to a smaller house or
That's cool.
or whatnot. So
That's really cool.
yeah, it works.
That's cool. All right, so let me ask you this. What's a time you would say that where something didn't go perfectly, but the way you handled it actually built more trust? Can you think of something?
I mean, you know, we have multiple jobs that, you know, you think they're going to go okay. We just had a customer the last 2 days, and we ended up chipping a tile. We had some frames on a bush that was really our fault. The tile was very accidental.
Sure.
Even the frames, you're working hard. They were on a bush. What else? Oh, we as we were walking with some wood, the guy turned and it actually skimmed a screen on the neighbor's sliding glass door screen.
Good times.
So we had 3 issues right there.
Yeah.
Well, I went over there with my partner right away, and we talked to the customer. We figured out how to fix the tile.
Yeah.
We took care of the bushes, and we got a hold of the neighbor, and I grabbed their screen, and we've already rescreened their screen, and we're sending it back to them tomorrow.
Love that.
So I mean, we messed up a little bit, you know.
It happens.
But listen, it's like
how
we
you
say,
respond.
it's like we say for our businesses, We do things the right way, and when things go wrong, we do the right thing. Like that's just it, right? Because something goes wrong. Did anybody mean to skim the screen? No, but listen, you're working. Sometimes shit just happens, right?
Right.
And it's just how do you handle it?
And to get our deposit check meant that the customer was fine.
Yeah.
And he's, thank you.
Yeah.
And a text message to me and that. And we're not finished. We still have to do the final inspection and stuff like that. And I feel that our relationship's going to be just fine.
Love that.
Awesome.
Right? You'll probably get more referrals because of the way you handled it. That's just how it kind of works. When you handle something that goes sideways and handle it well, that's what builds that trust and gets you more referrals.
Well, and that's the thing with windows and doors. A lot of times, we did a job where we were there for a day and a half, and the customer said that the neighbor behind her was done in a day. It wasn't our customer. It was the HOA president came by. She's like, what kind of company did you hire? Well, I went around to that house.
Good for you.
It was half the size of the house we did. One was a 2-story, and hers was a 2-story, and the neighbor's was a 1-story.
Big difference.
So there was things. I don't know why she even said anything, but I wanted to make sure. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? I don't.
Right, we're not dragging our feet here.
We're not. No, and you can see how hard these guys are working. And pretty soon it's going to get very hot out. You know, and I mean it's tough to work in these conditions. So things are going to happen. Yeah, it is construction. Just fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think people do understand that if you can, if you go over the contract properly and tell them, hey, what they're up against, because some people don't go over certain things and say, sorry, that's on you, and they knew nothing about
right.
that.
Right. Listen, there's an expression that I read not too long ago that says something to the effect of unexpressed expectations are premeditated resentments. Right? Like if you don't share the expectations, like how can I live up to your expectations if I don't know what your expectations are?
Right.
Right? And how can your customers understand if you don't express? Well, listen, if you tell what's going to go on, okay, here's what's going to go on. Like it's just smart. It's just
I try to tell them too. I tell a lot of the customers, I say, hey, right now I'm going to kind of scare you a little bit, but all in all, 5% of what I'm saying is going to really happen. Right.
Under promise, over deliver.
Right. I think a lot of people are like, hey, I'm spending $30,000, $40,000, whatever amount for the whole house of windows is. And they just want to know that I expressed that we are a specialty contractor. We're not a stucco contractor. We're not electricians. We're not plumbers.
Right.
I want you to remember me for windows and doors.
Yep.
Not for anything else, okay? So I don't want you to remember me because I broke that vase that shouldn't have been on the table, you know? So, it's just the expectations. You got to set the expectations right, and, and hopefully in the end, it's not going to be $10,000 more than the $30,000 you already spent.
Right.
But you know what? There is going to be some painting. There is going to be some stucco work, there might even be a little bit of flooring if a tile that we had to cut cracked potentially. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, but that's part of the I'm going to scare you right now stuff, right? Like that's letting them know that, hey, listen, when we take the windows out, the stucco is going to chip. Right. And it's gonna need to be fixed and painted. Like that's I think is smart because you're setting the expectation, so at least they know.
I've been doing it long enough too. What in my mind, to the majority of the houses that we do, when we're done, there's probably 3 to 7% of monies that would be paid out after the fact.
Yeah. Well, that's
so so it's not thousands and thousands of dollars, which people are concerned about, and you do hear these horror stories, and that's not true on our end, at least.
I love that. So quick topical moment. We're hearing from some manufacturers that pricing may be going up soon, like even within the next 30 days, without making hard promises. Like, what are you guys seeing right now? Are you seeing the same thing?
Well, we're hearing, but we don't know. The manufacturers they usually give us anywhere between like 2 and 3 weeks before that price goes up. So we are hearing that prices are going up. We do sell a lot of Plaspro doors. They're a fiberglass door company. We get them through a company called BHI, and they just had a 5% increase. I believe it was. So they were the first ones to have an increase. Sure. So we definitely are going to probably see that coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
So when people ask, like, when's the best time to order windows?
Today.
It generally is always today.
Yeah.
We have never had a price decrease from any manufacturers in the 25 years
Right.
that I've been in Florida
Yeah.
and mostly doing windows the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and owning my own company of windows and doors for 15 plus years.
Right.
Yeah.
So it really is the best time is
Yeah.
really now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you basically just took my next question, which is, what's the smart way to think about timing? You already answered it. Do it now.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it now before hurricane season.
Yeah.
And,
Especially.
you know, people get nervous about rainy season. It's so hot out as well. You know, we work every day. We work in the rain. Luckily, a lot of the rain, it basically, you know, we all have overhangs on our house, so the rain's coming down. It's not really affecting. If something were to affect inside your house by a rainstorm, we have tarps and that we can cover the openings for until the rain subsides, and then
Yeah,
we would
you can keep
install.
working.
We don't ever. That being said as well, we don't ever just leave an opening open overnight,
Right.
nor have we had to
With a
an
sign
opening
that says
overnight.
windows open.
Right.
Please don't enter.
But, you know, I mean, you know, if you came and worked for us on the installation team and you saw it raining and you thought you could go to the bar that afternoon all day, that's not going to work.
No.
You're going to be working today. So we work every day. It is, yes, you're going to go through some heat. You're going to go through the house being, you know, a little bit disarray,
Yeah.
and then we clean up. You know, you just got to do it.
Right, it's
You
part
know,
of the
and to have so there are crews of 2 and 3 guys. Since we've been doing this, we've had crews between 8 and 12 guys of all employees for many a years.
That's cool.
And now I'm seeing other competition go that route
Yeah.
because, you know, for a while there, everybody worked from home because we had to
Right.
with COVID, you know. So that worked out because people were there. But now people have to go back to work.
Yeah.
A lot of people in South Florida don't work, it seems like, or they do
Right.
work from home. But you don't want your house disrupted for very long.
Yeah.
Majority of the houses that we're doing are, you know, 2,000 to, you know, 6,000 to 8,000 square foot. Those, you know, the 2,000 to 4,000 square foot, those are 1 day to like 2 days jobs. You get over 4,000 to 5,000, 6,000, you could be into a 4 or 5 day install. That's with a nice crew. If you're
Yeah.
going to do it with, you know, 2 people,
2 guys, that'll take.
it takes
Like a month.
It
Yeah.
takes a long time, you know, and there's a lot of disruption. People definitely don't want you in their house that often.
Yeah.
You know?
No
that's
kidding.
That's a long time.
All right, so let's move on to a really cool segment here. It's called The Book of Awesome.
Ooh.
Okay.
the book-
What we're going to do is we're going to pass you this book right here. We're going to ask you to flip to a random page, read the bold headline at the top, and tell us if it stirs up a memory, thought, or just something cool. And if you get a weird or crappy one, you can pick a second one.
Yeah.
Matt Hillstrom, he's awesome.
Hold on.
Yeah, he is.
Am I in the right place?
No, maybe flip to a different one. There you go.
When you're driving late at night on an empty gas tank and a gas station appears on the horizon.
Been there. That ever happened to you? Does that bring up a thought, a memory? Have you ever?
I only ran out of gas one time in my whole life.
Oh, yeah?
I have a fear of running out of gas.
Same. Yeah.
Right now, my tank is at 40 miles, and I will be getting gas as soon
As
as,
soon
I
as you
here.
leave. I get that. I'm the same.
I have that same
Ran
fear.
out of gas. I never-
Although I don't do gas anymore, I
Right?
do electric.
Always electric now.
But I'm only at 50%. There's only
Yeah.
200 miles left on the charge.
Yeah.
What if I have to drive to Ohio tomorrow?
Yeah.
Exactly. You never know. It's always better to be prepared.
Yes. Always. Matt, you got one you like?
Hold on here.
There's some good ones. There's some weird ones.
I don't know that. Let's just pick this. I don't even know what it said. Oh, hold on. Driving through your old neighborhood and stopping to see the house you grew up in.
Oh,
Well, yeah. That's cool. Not really a memory, but you know, my mom and dad are both passed now.
yeah.
So the house is going to be getting sold at
Yeah.
some point. So yeah, so that kind of brings up a sad memory.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
But to go by my house anytime we go back home, to go there,
Yeah.
everything, you know, everything about the yard brings back the best of memories. And I mean, I was lucky to have great parents.
Heck yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys,
Right.
you
Same.
know,
We talk about that all the time, right?
you know,
How
that's
fortunate we
how
we are.
fortunate we are. Yeah. And that's what my dad would always say. He goes, good people generally start with good parents,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? and some have bad parents and they turn into good people.
Right.
But you have a better chance if your parents are good, you know.
Yeah.
And and they make that house into a home,
Yes.
and so.
And listen, and that's how I know that your daughters are going to be awesome, that my nephews are going to be awesome, because like you guys are all good people and you're doing a good job, working hard. Listen, perfect. I don't know what perfect means, but
Right.
you care, you love, you're involved. You guys, you and Lydia, like, thank you for making good people for our world, right? But that's what it is, and then they're going to drive by your home and be like, oh, remember when
gated.
we did that out
Gated.
there?
They can't get in.
Right.
Yeah.
But all the good stuff, like that's
Yeah.
what it is, right? It's the love, the memory,
Listen, last time I was up in Massachusetts, I drove by our old house and I happened to see the guy living there, and I stopped and I'm like, I know this is super weird, but that was my bedroom. I grew up there. I lived here for the first 18 years of my life. He's like, you want to come in and look? I'm like, really?
That's pretty cool.
So I went in. It was so weird.
Yeah.
He's like, we replaced the kitchen cabinets a few years ago, and it was really weird. There was this. He's like, hold on a second. He went and found. He's like, there was this note behind the cabinet.
Dad.
Our dad put a freaking note behind the cabinet
Yeah.
when he did. I can't remember what it said.
I don't remember. It was
But-
something interesting.
Yeah, that's our dad. And like, how freaking cool is that, right? Like,
That's pretty cool.
it was so cool to go
It's
back home.
It's the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's so nice to, I mean, we still have her. We still have both of our childhood homes, at this
That's
point.
cool.
So, but, it is, there's a lot of good memories
Heck yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
it's always nice to go home and see what's going on there. But, when I get there, I'm like, oh, man, the house doesn't smell like mom's spaghetti,
Right.
I mean, come
Right.
on. That's what I want, So,
Yeah, I get that for sure. Let's take another quick break. We wanted to give a shout out to our friend Nick Cassidy with Rapid Recovery Team. If you've got water, mold, fire, or storm damage, you want a team that moves fast, communicates clearly, and knows how to help when things get messy. That's Nick and Rapid Recovery Team. You can reach them at rapidrecoveryteam.com or 954-651-1145. And of course, you can always start with us at lovewhereyouLiveFL.com, and it will be our pleasure to make an intro to Nick.
For sure. We'll definitely do that. So we already mentioned, right? You guys live in a great neighborhood, right? You get a lot of awesome neighbors that we all know and hang out, and your girls are growing up here, right? This isn't just a business for you. What does it mean to you guys, like, to be working and serving in an area where you're raising your family, where you see people at Publix? Like, how does that affect your personally, your life personally, professionally? Like,
since I moved down here, and when we first moved, we were in Deerfield or Coconut Creek, I guess.
Coconut Creek.
And then we moved to Boca, and every weekend I always feel like we're on vacation. You know, I mean, I just love South Florida.
Me too.
I think it's beautiful. Some people will say, "Oh, the people are crappy," or you got to deal with hurricanes. Oh, it's so hot. I
Damn right it is. Jump in the pool, baby.
Right.
Exactly.
You figure it out.
We have air
I mean, the reason I left Illinois was because it was too damn cold, know. So,
Correct.
but I mean, I just love being here. As we took the girls to Colorado at Thanksgiving, and they've always wanted to be like they. Well, our oldest said she wanted to go to school where it's cold at and whatnot. Well, now they're like, I don't know, Dad, we're in a
That
pretty cool
sucks,
spot.
Dad.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well, our youngest is a beach girl.
Yeah.
She said yesterday she was sitting outside and she said, I'm so happy summer's here.
Right.
I'm glad it's not cold anymore.
Yes. Yes.
So I mean, I just love it here. I don't have a problem with the people, and if I have a problem with that person, I'd
Next.
probably just move on to the
Correct.
next, But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great place, and I'm glad to raise the kids here.
Awesome.
I think they're very lucky.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yes.
A little bit
For
luckier
sure.
than where we were
Yeah.
raised.
For sure.
Even though we were raised in a different place, we had a
Correct.
great time. You know,
Yes.
I mean, we loved where we grew up.
Yeah.
You didn't know any better. Like when I go home, I'm like, this is where I grew up. Like it's so gray.
loved it.
and
The Illinois River versus the Atlantic Ocean's
Yeah.
kind of a little bit different,
Yeah.
but we still had a great time.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I know, Matt, you coached your girls in volleyball, and I know you go camping with the girls and other dads, and it's a real thing for you, right? So how do those parts of your life shape the way you lead the business?
Well, I mean, I like to help them become better, and in turn that makes me, I feel, like it makes me better.
Yeah.
and makes me be better for the company.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've gone through so many different changes, and you know, I mean, we're doing a lot of changes right now with our CRM and our different, you know, different contracts and stuff like that. And it's and before, this stuff kind of would be boring to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's exciting. I think it's great. I think it's great that, you know, maybe someday, probably not, but maybe someday the girls would want to take over for us. You know, my business partner, he has a son that works with us.
Awesome.
And chances maybe he would want to get involved in it too, you know? So I don't know. We'll see what happens, you know, but I think it's been exciting, and it's, you know, I loved coaching volleyball.
Yeah.
Right now, I think I'm going to probably go back to the Y and start coaching again a little bit if I can find the time.
They're always looking for help, brother.
They always are looking for help, and it's such a good YMCA, you know, in West Boca. But you know, it's that makes you feel good, and it's great to see kids just be excited and actually respect you right away, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because you taught them something,
Yes.
you know? So that's fun.
And, have fun. And also, listen, you work hard, and then you get to go shape lives and mold lives, and by the way, watch your girls at the same time, which is kind of cool, right?
The best. Because I mean, I know the game of volleyball, but I didn't really know how to coach it.
Right.
And now I feel I can actually do that. I've
cool.
you know, coached enough seasons, you know. I mean, I'm not some professional coach by any means, but hey, you know, we won 4 championships.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Not bad.
That was fun.
I
you
love
know?
that.
I heard it was all Jason, though.
He was the
That's what he does
assistant
say.
coach. No, yeah. But he did, yes, Jason helped as well, you know. And the campouts have been something great, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the girls say that's one of the funnest times of their life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Memories they'll keep forever.
That means a lot to me, you know. They made good friends doing it. The saddest part of the whole thing is we're kind of coming to an end, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Macy being 16, you know,
How
there's not
many
a lot of
times is she gonna
time.
do that?
How many more times do we have, right?
Yeah.
But we make the best of it.
Yeah.
We just went last week and had a great time.
Love that.
Awesome.
I love that. So if you look forward a few years, what are you guys most excited to build or improve or to become as a company? What do you think in the next
Retired.
few years?
Retired.
Yes,
No,
retired.
no.
That does sound pretty nice.
Yeah, that would be nice, right? Well, I think we're on the right track. You know, I mean, it's always, I always say we're taking baby steps to get to wherever we're getting. I don't even know, but I think we're on the right track. Just trying to get, you know, better systems in place. You know, all the computers are crazy anymore. What they can do for construction
Amazing, right?
companies, amazing. You know, and to hopefully just have the proper policies and procedures put in place and say, hey, this is what we do. This is how we do it. We're only getting better.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, that's exciting. So we'll see what happens in the future, you know. But you know, I mean, I think we're definitely on the right track. We're always learning, you know. So that's you know, that's the thing. You just, something could happen on one day. You'd say, oh, what the heck? What was that? You know. But yeah, you live and learn, and
And that teaches you something so you can fix it or change it for the next time.
of course,
Right.
Yep.
I love that. So, and with all that going on, right, construction is not an easy line of work. It's not an easy business to run. It's stressful.
For sure.
So for the chuckles, right, for the laughs, is there a person, a comedian, a show, a meme that makes you guys laugh out loud right now? Is there something that just
Matt just thought of it, but I don't know if he can say it. That's the face I just saw.
I don't know. You know, so you know, we've had 4 pugs in our lives.
Oh yeah.
We only have 1 left now. We've never had all 4 together,
Right.
but
Right.
2 and 2 we had. And I'm a sucker for pug memes. I'll tell you that much. So I have to take. When I get home from work, even if it's a bad day, you know, where it just was tough. You know, you worked so hard, and you know, you don't know that you know, when you get home and you just didn't feel like you got everything done. You know, so tomorrow's going to be tough too. And I don't know. I end up seeing a pug boxing, a French bulldog or something, and some dumb AI thing, and I just laugh.
And it just makes you laugh.
Yeah, just funny. It's, you know, and then I just think of my little boneheaded dogs, you know. So I mean, it's just I don't know, it's ridiculous, but
I love that. How about you, Jody? Anything making you chuckle now besides your husband?
I'm boring. I just read all the time. I don't really watch TV.
Nerd.
I like to watch old shows like Friends and Seinfeld.
All right, those are good ones.
the Golden
Yeah.
Girls, she's
The
a big
Golden Girls, yes.
Girls.
I love the Golden Girls.
Nice.
I get
Nice.
it. Same.
So after a hard day or week, how do you reset so it just doesn't fester? Is it just looking at pug memes or?
No. I mean, the girls, they have all kinds of volleyball stuff going on in that. So, you know, we'll do that. Or, again, Jody and I, we love to take walks wherever, you know.
If we can get all 4 of us together and have a family dinner.
Yeah.
We are taking the girls to Universal next weekend.
Oh,
so
nice.
we're excited for a little family trip for spring break.
Going to the new
no.
park? Oh, sorry.
No, it's too expensive.
Yeah,
No,
right?
I'm just kidding.
We don't love them that much.
Yeah.
They're fine with Universal and Islands
Exactly.
of
But there's
Adventure.
plenty to do there. It's right. It's not
Yeah,
like
I
it's
think
not
they'll be
like it's
okay.
boring.
I think
Yeah.
they'll be okay.
Yeah, we like to go to some shows and stuff like that a lot. You know, we've always been members or whatever you call it of the
Subscribers for theater.
subscribers to the theater. So we're always, you know, getting to do a show, and then now and lately we can't go to some of the shows just because we're too busy. You know, but you know,
But like what theater?
the Broward Performing Arts.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, I know they have good shows there all
Yeah,
the time.
so
I
they
didn't know
do
you could
6
subscribe.
shows a year. So you can be a subscriber and you get the same
I'll make a
seat
note.
for the whole season.
That's so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's fun. You know, very very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so this is probably the most important question of the day. Right, you ready?
Okay.
What's your favorite local restaurant right now? And what do you order there?
There's so many. We do love, there's a new sushi place in West Boca called Nomu.
Okay.
They have a great
Really?
happy hour.
Where?
It is in the plaza on Glades and 441 by Old Navy.
Really?
Okay.
I haven't been in there since they knocked down the building.
Yeah, it's a tiny little place. It's on one of the little end caps.
I know
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Very good.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
I was in
very
there.
good.
Really? And is there something particular you guys like there or just any?
They have great
chicken wings.
Chicken wings.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just like
At the sushi
Really?
garlic.
place.
Yes.
Yeah, garlic. However they fry them a different way, you know, it's just
I
they're
could
so
go
good.
tonight. Yeah.
Right? I
Yeah.
could eat some chicken
It's
wings.
just a nice,
Sounds-
casual, small restaurant. They're
Yeah.
very friendly when you go in there. Very nice.
I love
Food's
I-
always.
I was hoping you were going to say Casa Tequila, but
we do like Casa Tequila. too.
So mine, because I love Mexican food.
Yeah.
But mine is Mi Casita is my lunch spot. They make my favorite burrito, and I tell you, it's just something about it. You know, you're going through all the craziness about life
Yeah.
and work and everything's going, and I'm hungry, and I eat that burrito, and
Life
it
is
puts
good.
a smile on my face. And I tell the girl that I believe she owns it, right? Anna. She's awesome. It's a little family-owned
Yeah.
place right off of Spanish River Boulevard and right behind the Publix right at
Oh, yeah.
Federal Highway.
Okay.
There's a
where the post office place is, that
what's
It's on the other side of the building, on the east side of that building.
Okay.
gotcha. But it's in the okay.
Yeah, in that same big
Alright.
plaza.
Haven't been to me
there's
because
an Ace
Very
or
good.
whatever, True
Yes.
Hardware,
Yeah, there's a
True
hardware store,
Value.
yeah.
The
It's
Sherwin-
on the side of the
Right.
Sherwin-Williams. It's on the side of the building.
Right.
there.
There's a tattoo
Okay.
place there. The
right
burger
next to
place.
the
I've
tattoo
got
place.
plans tomorrow.
And it's just you know, it's a little family-owned place, and I don't know. They just
All right.
to
All right,
me,
you're
It's
gonna see us there for
authentic.
lunch every once in a while.
to
then.
me,
It's authentic. It's not covered in cheese.
Right.
yeah, it's very
The flavor
authentic.
of the food is
They're
good.
very nice, very nice people, and I just love it.
Awesome.
It puts a smile on my face. I'll tell
Love
you that
that.
much,
Good.
and that means a lot.
Good.
that.
Awesome. All right. So we asked you to have your phones over here. So we're going to ask you now to show the world what's the picture on your lock screen and what does it mean to you?
Yeah. Is there a story behind it or anything?
You scared?
No, mine is when we went to
Oh, that's a
a
nice family picture.
quinceanera recently. We have 2 twin girls that live across the street from us, and we were invited to be part of
Oh,
our
that's beautiful.
celebration. So
That's
we all
cool.
went as a family.
And it
Oh,
was a
that's
really nice picture.
Yeah.
Really nice family
Oh.
picture.
How about you, Matt? Just for stupid
Just-
bears. Oh,
just my two girls.
I thought it was going to be Caleb Williams.
But I don't know how these are there because I usually have my picture with my dog.
I was going to
Otis.
say,
So I wondered if the girls changed
if they
it on me.
they might have
maybe,
done that.
even though I've had this as my screensaver before. So I don't. But sometimes I press a button on my phone and
Yeah, and
I do it. Someone was like, "How the hell did that get there?" I feel so old.
Yeah. So
The girls got a hold of my phone the other day, and there was a close-up picture of both of them
Okay.
on
Sounds
my
about
screen
right.
that I just changed last
Yeah.
night,
Oh, that's so
actually.
funny.
So it would
I
have
wish
been
it would
funny
still
if
been
that
there.
one came
I
out.
love that. I love that. All right, so if you guys get a full day off, right?
Imagine.
with
Imagine.
Where we don't talk about work at all?
and nobody bothers us.
No work, no email, no calls. Like
It's Christmas Day.
how does the Hillstrom family spend it other than Christmas? Like
Well, hopefully we're with our girls and they want to spend time with us that day.
yeah.
Yeah.
With being teenage girls now, they're kind of off on their own. And having a 16-year-old with a car, we never see her anymore.
Did I tell you I saw her out?
Did you?
I can't remember where I was. I'm like, oh, maybe I was at the mall. I'm like, did you drive here? She's like, yeah.
They're always
That would
at
be
the
where
mall.
you would see her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the ideal day would be able to spend the whole day with our girls. They love to go to the beach, so maybe partially at the beach and a nice dinner together.
Love that.
Oh, that sounds sweet.
Burrito at Mi Casita, maybe somewhere in the middle.
That's lunch, bro.
Perhaps.
That's
lunch.
lunch.
Right, that could be for lunch.
You
Could bring it to the beach.
Yes.
Right, grab the burrito, bring it to the beach.
Drop it and just.
I don't like eating in the sand. You know,
Eat in the car on the way. Right, you're in the truck on the way.
I could eat it really quick.
Right.
So
I love that. I love that. All right, so before we wrap up, we want to give a shout out to a past guest, Leslie Milano, formerly Leslie Ordonez, and her terrific bakery. Here's another new spot for you guys, Cakes de Sabores. We've talked about before, their cake sticks, breakfast sandwiches, cakes, shakes, all of it. It is so good. If you haven't been yet, go show them some love. They are located on the north side of Hillsborough Boulevard, across from the entrance of Century Village in Deerfield Beach, just west of Military Trail. And it's the easternmost shop in the plaza. It just says bakery over the top of it. Check them out on social media too. Leslie makes really funny videos.
Yeah.
Her husband, she and her husband like write all the scripts and stuff together. Like it's so cute that they do that.
Yeah.
Alex, her husband, writes it. Leslie acts them out, and they're funny. And by the way, their cakes are amazing. They're
We have a
everything.
birthday party coming up in a couple
Yeah, we
weeks.
do.
so
Yeah, it's
There's-
good stuff.
Check 'em out.
Good stuff.
It is so good.
perfect for my diet.
Yeah, right. You can check them out also at cakesdesabores.com, and it's CAKES, the letter D, Sabores, SABORES.com.
Yes. And before we wrap up here, I want to talk about the piece of paper that's in front of you, Matt. What do you got there, buddy?
Well, I didn't know
Volunteers.
what we'd be talking about, but in the 7th grade, I had to do this comparative analysis paper.
Okay.
One of my friends, I think he did like Ronald Reagan versus like Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
My other buddy did the Chicago Bears versus the Patriots.
Yeah,
'cause we
I-
just whooped
can I
some
tell
butt
you?
in the Super Bowl.
I
Because this is like
don't
this
remember
is this is right at like 87.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So we just won the Super Bowl in '86.
Super Bowl shuffle.
Dark days.
Yeah. So I decided to do Kmart versus Walmart.
Okay.
So in our little rural area, we always had a Kmart
Yeah.
there, and I loved their cafeteria
Sure,
and stuff
everything.
like that. Their little blue light specials
Yes.
and stuff. Well, they just opened up a Walmart, and there was a lot of buzz about it, So I decided to do that. My mom took me to both of the stores, and I picked like 7, items, household items, priced them all out, went to both of them. And then my mom said, you should really interview the manager. So I interviewed the manager, just a couple questions for, Kmart. And he said, well, we got the blue light. We got the great cafeteria with the ices. I always love their ices,
Still do.
and, and a layaway program. And I said, okay, cool. And then I went to Walmart and I learned about logistics. Well, he goes, you noticed how our prices are. We beat those guys all day long.
Yeah.
It's because how we distribute our goods. And so I wrote a little paper.
Yeah.
He asked if I could drop the paper off after I'm done with it and get it graded.
Sure.
And so I did. I brought it to him and I said, see that? I got an A+ on the paper.
Nice job, man.
It was all cool. And I says, let me hold it. We have weekly meetings. We're big on the community.
Right.
Walmart was, and he said, let me hold on to it. So he held on to it, and he called him like a week later, and he said, come pick up your paper. I got something for you. So he gave me this. This is just a copy of it.
Yeah.
It's a note. Okay. Someone got water on it. This, the real one's at my mom and dad's house, but it's a note from Sam Walton,
Really?
And it says Matt Hillstrom too, and the date was to Prue, Illinois. Prue is the town that the Walmart is. And he said, well done, Matt. A very well done comparison. You'll be one of the good ones.
Oh my God.
Best wishes always, Sam
Walton.
How freaking cool
And
is
he
that?
wasn't wrong.
So
That is so cool.
So he gave me this, and I was like, well, that's cool. And they said, the guy says, you know who Sam Walton is? And I said, no, I mean, it says
You related to Bill?
It says chair. Yeah, right. I knew Bill Walton, He said, it says chairman. He says, well, he's the owner of Walmart, and he's the richest man in the world.
Right.
And I was like, in this little rural town that I lived in, I was like,
You get
oh my God, I got a note from the richest man in the world
cool.
in 1987. So I thought it was
That is
cool.
so cool.
And that also made me say, someday, maybe I can have my own business.
I love that.
Yeah.
Not as big as Walmart, but hey, it is Boca
I love
Impact,
that.
window and door.
How cool
So
is that?
cool, right?
Yeah,
Your
Yeah.
husband's a big deal, huh?
it is.
Yeah. So
I love that.
Matt and Jody, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah.
That's been great. Thank you.
So where should viewers and listeners go first if they want to connect with you and get a quote or learn more?
Well, our website has most of our information. We do have a form fill that you can fill out that goes directly to our office, so we can call you and set up an appointment. The website's www.bocaimpactwd.com, and our office phone number is 561-717-8313.
Awesome. And we'll make sure to put all that stuff into our show notes too. So anybody who's looking or listening, they'll be able to find all your contact information. And also, just to make sure we say it clearly, you guys did mention that if someone mentions the podcast that you guys were on the digital podcast, you give them a break. You'd give them 5% off their orders, right? That is so freaking cool. Thank you for
Awesome.
that.
Very cool.
That's pretty awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. And for everyone watching and listening, if this episode helped you, do us a favor, like it, share it with a neighbor, follow up, and subscribe. And if you've got 30 seconds, we talked about reviews before, leave us a 5-star review. It helps more locals find the show.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Right. Well, listen, because we have great guests and great friends like you guys. So everything that we're building lives at lovewhereyoulive.fl.com. So please check that out and make sure to love where you live, everybody.
Yes. So we will see you on the next episode. And for now, we want to say
Bye for now.
bye.
Thank you, guys.
Squaw!